しょう。
So welcome to BrowEdit tutorial number 1. This tutorial is for those who have absolutely little to no experience using BrowEdit, and I'll be teaching you guys the ins and outs of BrowEdit, and hopefully you guys will be, in the end of a couple tutorials, pretty good designers, and you'll be able to design your own maps with great detail, and it'll look really good. Okay, so let me just break down what we're going to cover for today. Today we're going to talk about what is BrowEdit, where to download BrowEdit, how to install BrowEdit, and the applications of BrowEdit. So BrowEdit was designed by Borf. It's also known as Borf's Ragnarok Online World Editor. And its main function is to obviously design Ragnarok maps, right? You could find BrowEdit from the following link, and I'll show you that right now. So if you go to this link right here, that's Borf's site. And you could find updated releases and other info on the changelog for what BrowEdit has been updated with. Also, if you would like to download BrowEdit, which I'm going to cover right now, where to download BrowEdit, you could go to this link right here. It's an index of releases for updated revisions of BrowEdit. I believe the most updated right now is 6.20. We're gonna go there right now. So let's go take a look at the index of releases. Okay. So here it is right here. As you can see, the earliest is 500. Don't even bother with it. I recommend 586. That's the one I'm currently using. However, Borf redesigned the platform BrowEdit is using, so it's a lot less buggier, more stable, and lots of great stuff coming in with that. And that's 620. So you could either use 620 or you could use 586. I made a pre-installer for revision 586. I'll show you the link to download that. It's pretty much all pre-configured and ready to go. You just got to do a couple of changes, nothing hard. I'll talk to you about that later on when we get that installing BrowEdit part. But overall, if you'd like to skip the work and just get this working, which is perfectly fine, it's completely stable, then use 586. If not, I'll teach you later on how to install it from scratch, how to install BrowEdit, okay? So let's get started with my pre-installer. So if you would like to download my pre-installer, you can go to this link over here, and it's from Senspace.com. If you just download it and save it on your desktop, you can extract it, which is right here. I already have it here. You can extract it with WinRAR. Make sure you have the latest version of WinRAR, or you could download it, or you can extract it, sorry, with 7-zip. 7-zip is a different compression program than WinRAR. It's a little bit better. It does compress. Yeah, this is a little bit better than WinRAR, but overall they're both pretty much the same. However, you definitely need the highest, the latest version of WinRAR to get this working properly. So I have it extracted here. So let's open up BrowEdit 586. Just extract it on your desktop. Not a big deal. Just extract it on your desktop. Okay, so let's open it up. So here we are. We're in the BrowEdit folder. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on in here. I recommend you read this README file that I made. There's a lot of navigational controls and tips and other features you should know about before you get started. I'll talk about that later on tutorial number 2 when we actually start with the basics of designing and actually using BrowEdit in its navigational controls. So let's talk about what to do to get this to run. So don't worry about plugins right now. Let's get to data. So open up data, and then I want you to go to configs, okay? Lastly, go and open up row.xml with Notepad or WordPad, whichever you feel more comfortable with. I like WordPad better, but let's just open it with WordPad, okay? So here we are. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I'll explain it thoroughly as much as I can, so you guys absolutely know what's going on. Over here, BrowEdit extracts important information from. First of all, this is required: the data.grf or the our data.grf, which is your renewal content. The data.grf is required, or you could use the sdata. I don't know who actually uses Sakura anymore because it's no longer supported with the renewal. However, you could definitely use the data.grf and just fill in your directory to the location right here. I'll show you how that can be done if you do not know how to do that. So if you would like to extract information, extract the location of your data.grf, just go to the location first, wherever it is on your computer. I'll show you where mine is. Okay, so here we are. We're at the location of my directory. So if you would like to know how to actually extract the location, just go to your data.graph, right-click, go to Properties, and under Location, just highlight it by just dragging and holding left-click, Control-C to copy the location, close this, go back to your row.xml, and just paste with Control+V. Then you need to put obviously the file name as well, so data.grf. If your R data is in the same location, which I hope it is, or else nothing's going to work, go to your copy the same location here and paste it here using Control and C and Control and V, and then just write in the file name, R data and data.grf. Okay? Yeah. Now, let me explain a little about what's going on down here. I'll talk about this later on with textures. This is for custom textures and adding your own textures and editing stuff, so don't worry about that right now. What you just got to worry about is just one thing, the window size. So BrowEdit can actually be edited to be any size of window you want, depending on your monitor. If your monitor supports a larger resolution, then you could certainly change this value to a higher one. Mine's pretty bad right now. Mine only goes to 1024, so it's kind of crappy. Had it for a long time, but that's okay. Still works like a charm, so it's not a big deal. So what I usually do is I keep it at a lower resolution. And even if it's a fast computer, you will be surprised how much CPU your BrowEdit takes up, because the map could be really detailed and really big. So just to be safe, when editing with BrowEdit, I need you to reduce this to about 800 and 600. Okay, so if that's it, then we can just save this file, save, close, and close U. And BrowEdit is pretty much ready to go, okay? So we can just go back again, and then we could run BrowEdit, okay? So let's run it. So here we are. This is Boris Ragnarok Online World Editor, BrowEdit, and if you see the hamster and everything's looking great, then you know it's working absolutely fine. Okay, and before I'm done with this, let me just show you a little bit about what we can do. There is Effects menu, Edit Mode, View, Generate, Windows. There's a lot of functions you can do here, so it's very user friendly. It's very easy to design, so don't worry. You'll know this inside out when I'm done. Okay? So let's just close this right now, just for now. So we're just back here. Now, if you would like to actually download your own revision and you want to install your own path of BrowEdit, whether it be the 620 or a little bit less, doesn't matter. Let me show you how that can be done. So just make a new folder on your desktop, call it BrowEdit 620, just to make sure you know what you're working with, and open it up. Okay, now in here I want you to make another new folder and call it Plugins, all lowercase, just like that. Okay? Now you can close this for now. Let's go back to that index of release page I showed you earlier on, okay? So here's the index of release, and just go all the way down to 620. I'm just going to do the latest version because, well, obviously it's going to be the most stable, right? So I want you to go and first download the plugins. So make sure you go to Plugin Stable, not Trunk. So open that up, and then just save all these files to your desktop. Just click it, save. Click it, save. And just, oh, forgot to tell you, with XML, you got to right-click and save. Okay? And just save that to your desktop. Same thing with the GATs, generators, light maps, all to your desktop, okay? And then you can just minimize this page for now, okay? Just minimize it. So now reopen your 620 BrowEdit folder and open your plugins. Open the plugins folder. And then I want you to drag all those plugins you just downloaded into this folder right here. So it should look like this. So you have your GATs, your 3ds to RSM, generators, clear map here, DLL, and then the light maps. So in total about 6 files, okay? If you do not have 6 files, then you're probably missing something. So let's go back, if you have that all. And now go back to the index of release. Okay. Now we need to download the Brow stable.exe. So save that on your desktop. You also need the datapack stable.rar, so also download that on your desktop. and the logstable.txt, and you can download that on your desktop as well. Okay, so that looks good. You don't really need the plugin stable SDK, but if you would like to, you can download that as well and just extract it in your plugins folder that I just showed you earlier. Okay, so that's done. Now let's just drag all of this and put it in your BrowEdit folder. This too, and this. And then I want you to right-click and extract the files here, okay? All of it from the data pack underscore stable. And then you can just delete that. And next, I need you to open up the config.txt. Okay, on default, you see row desktop.xml. I want you to get rid of desktop so it just shows row XML. Okay, save it just like that. Okay. Then I want you to save the file and exit. That's done. Then I want you to go to data, go to configs, go to row.xml and open it. And again, you have to change the pathway. So once you match those pathways, and also you need to change this last thing. After you match the pathways, like I showed you earlier with the previous pre-installed BrowEdit 586, scroll down, and you'll see something called water. In the renewal version, there are new types of waters, so I need you to change this value from 8 to 9, and then just save. After you have everything done, just save it. Okay, and if you would like to, this is default on 1024 and 768. You can reduce it or to a lower resolution, or you could just keep it like that. Okay, so that's good. Just close it. And believe it or not, that's all it is. Pretty simple, isn't it? And then just run BrowEdit _stable.exe, and you're all good to go. That's it. It's pretty simple. So I'm just going to delete this now. Okay, so that's how we install BrowEdit, your revision or my stable pre-setup. Some applications of BrowEdit. So we know how to install it, we know how to download it, we know what BrowEdit is. What can BrowEdit actually do? It could edit pre-existing gravity maps in your GRF files. You could create new maps. However, that function is buggy. There are some problems with it. However, you really don't need it. I'll explain later on in tutorial number 2 when we get started with our basic mapping skills on how to create proper maps and the whole 9 yards. Okay. We could also create lighting, import and export other light map files from previous maps, or we can also edit those light map files. They're saved as .bmp, so you can pretty much edit them in Paint or anything else, and you could change that. Or you could also use the generate function in BrowEdit to make pre-calculated terrain levels. It could pretty much organize your terrain to look like a mountain or mazes or rooms. And BrowEdit also utilizes custom textures and objects. So if you don't want to use what the GRF files comes with in terms of textures and models, you can certainly make your own models using 3ds files. And then BrowEdit actually has a converter. So it converts 3ds to .rsm, which is the object file for gravity, so that's what it utilizes. And you can certainly make your own textures. There's a certain way to do that on certain properties of textures in order to have it loaded properly. That can be discussed later on. I myself haven't used custom textures before. I'm still learning that, but there's a huge variety of textures as already in the GRF. So unless your map is very specific to what you want, you don't really need custom textures. So that's just a few things that BrowEdit can do. There's many more features to make your life a lot easier. It's very user-friendly. It's very easy to map, and hope you enjoyed this video. I would just like to thank and give credit to Borf for making this program. It would not have been possible to make the maps we can do today without you, Borf. And I just want to thank Yuki Itsusuki for making her guide, because I must have followed that so many times to get BrowEdit to work properly. It was a really a big drag without that guide. That guide really helped my life. Okay, so I'll see you soon on tutorial number 2, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Alright, take care guys.